Joe the Fan here with you from Just Win Bets, baby. Shano Mac. Shano, we saw the Skins play last night against Cincinnati in a somewhat positive and negative because they lose. I mean, obviously it's preseason, it's week 2. We did see some of the starters on offense, meaning Deebo Samuel, and of course Jaden Daniels behind center. But anything that you saw, and we did see some of the defensive starters as well. Anything, good, bad, and ugly that you saw in last night's game?
I'm gonna talk about some good first. The good thing I saw first is Bill, the running back, the rookie, 7th round rookie. He looked great, and I know they're thinking about getting rid of B-Rob, getting rid of Brian Robinson, and
right.
if he's running like that, well, why not get rid of Brian Robinson? I think Brian Robinson's not the best fit for Cliff Kingsbury's offense. It looks like Bill is, and if you got him and McNichols and Austin Eckler and C-Rod, I think we'll be okay with getting rid of with Brian Robinson. Problem is, I don't know what we'd get for him in a trade. I don't think we're going to get much. Right. What do you think we'd get for Brian Robinson if we're going to trade him?
In a perfect world, I mean, this is calling Jimmy Johnson world, okay, right? Where he traded Herschel Walker years ago for 500 first-round pick from Minnesota, and I'm exaggerating, of course, but in a perfect world, I would say a second rounder. That's not going to happen. I think it's going to be a 4th and maybe a 4th and 6 or 4th and 7th. But I think it's just 4th would be my ceiling for this.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that high. I was thinking maybe like a 5th we'd get for him. 4th I would take in a second. Yeah, I don't think second round's definitely not going to happen. But yeah, I think it's probably going to be in that 4th to 6th range for a pick. Unless you're going to trade a player, which I wouldn't mind that either. Having some depth either at defensive line or linebacker wouldn't be bad, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that was a positive, though. The running game was definitely a positive. A bad thing I saw, and I don't know if you agree with this, is that starters don't play the 3rd preseason game, right?
Sure.
And Jaden Daniels only played last night, and he didn't throw a pass. So it's kind of scary to me that he is going to go the whole preseason without throwing one pass attempt in a preseason game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I thought he threw one, but okay, I'll believe with it. I'll won't fight you on that one, but I think it's based on timing because Terry McLaurin's not there, so the timing could be off. I'm a little concerned that I didn't see a lot of people like, for example, McCaffrey last night. We looked at other receivers. Great. Deebo, you're utilizing him just like Kyle Shanahan did in San Francisco. So, okay, the holes are there. I don't understand Wiley is still on the team. Andrew Wall, 71 is still on the team. I think he's got to go. I think if you get, and I don't think he's 100%. I don't care if he's 100% back, and the doctor says 100% back. What's his name from? What was he from Texas? Cosby. I don't care if he's. Hey, I got a brand new leg, a bionic leg. I don't care. We're not starting you, bro. Okay. I think maybe week 6, because you and I know about these tears, ACL tears, etc. No, you just don't come back like that. Okay, so I'd rather the line looks decent, pretty good. But again, who are you going up against? Cincinnati is just terrible on with that line. So if the holes are like that, look out.
Jaden Daniels had one pass. It wasn't a pass attempt. They had one passing play, but he dropped back, and that's when he scrambled in for the touchdown. He dropped back, nothing was open, took off for the 14-yard touchdown. And by the way, the Bengals, they should have stopped them there. That was horrendous tackling by them. Good God.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a defender, again, back in the day, oh, my Lord. And he just totally, because the Bengal guy just let up.
Oh, yeah.
It
looked like he was used to like practice, like it was like thud or like scrimmaging, something like that. He wasn't going game speed. I was like, good God, that should not have been a touchdown, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Because it was Sean Taylor or you got one of the. I'm just saying, it would just totally lit that guy up. He's out. If that's Ed Reed, he's out.
Oh, for sure. Any of those guys.
That's a free shot.
Brian Dawkins, if we're scrimmaging the Eagles, he would have laid Jaden Daniels' head.
Clear free shot there.
Thankfully they didn't. But yeah, I was surprised by that. But yeah, you're right. That's the one bad thing about that. The offense, when the starters were in there, they look good, move the ball. Debo Samuels hit with that end around coming around, looked awesome. He actually looked like he had some speed there. He looked like he could still move, which was look good. That's a good thing. But like you said, they're playing the Bengals defense, and we all know the Bengals. They were scoring 40 points a game last year and still losing games, because their defense was that bad last year. So, how great is it? I mean, it's great, but at the same time, yeah, look who you're playing. So, we'll see how it is in the regular season.
I think Hartman is done.
Yeah.
I think I think he needs a lot of work. I think there's a lot of mechanics that he needs work on, and he's not even reading the defense properly. I mean, you recently talked to a guy off the air here, where a guy who, is running a program who doesn't even understand what cover 2 means. So I don't understand that. Okay. So, I mean, he looks like Hartman 2.0, because this guy, nice kid, maybe Notre Dame. Okay, great. And we all know the girls love him. Okay. But we're talking business here.
Yep.
And the business is he's locking straight on he throws it too late, way too late. And it's not even close. So I don't think Hartman makes the team. Now Johnson, he's a vet. He did throw an interception close to right by the goal. I think they landed like at the 1 or 2, and the Bengals took over. Again, it's a timing thing. I don't think it's. I think I think it was illegal contact. Okay, for one. But as a receiver, dude, you got to get out of that brick.
Yeah.
So I don't really blame Johnson on that one. There's a few nice passes here and there, but yeah.
I mean, Johnson played pretty good. He played like a third string quarterback would, right? He didn't look great, didn't look terrible. Hartman looked terrible.
Yeah.
It's the second game in a row that he's looked terrible.
Yeah.
And he was on the roster last year. We had him on the practice squad last year, and at times on the 53-man roster last year. He cannot be on the roster this year. I think the only thing he has positive for him is supposedly him and Jaden Daniels are like best friends. So that might be his only gleam of hope. That might be his only gleam of hope, is to keep Jaden Daniels happy. But if it's for his play, no, he needs to be gone. Cut him, save that roster spot for somebody who's actually worth it. He's the type of guy I think that would benefit from going to the UFL.
Yes.
He would I think that would benefit him. Go there for a year or two. Get some reps at a higher level, and then come back.
Yes. I completely agree. I have nothing against the guy. I wish the guy good luck, but if again we're talking business here, we're not holding 4 quarterbacks. Let's be honest right there. So he's the first guy to go. So if it's between Johnson and him, I think Johnson secures that spot. But Hartman, again, if he can be on the practice squad again, that would be my offer. But I agree with you. I would study up, or maybe practice squad, and then get ready for the UFL tryout or showcase that's coming up.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was him. He probably has enough tape where he doesn't need to go to the show out. I'm sure some team will take a shot on him, because I mean he's a former Notre Dame starting quarterback. Some UFL team will sign him. But I think that's his best route of going. He needs playing time. That's what he needs. He needs playing time, and you're not going to get that in the NFL.
Now, we didn't see Eckler. We didn't see Tunzel. There's just a few. We didn't see Wagner. I mean, Wagner's been around for a very long time. I'm glad that they had a rookie there. There was another rookie that's in the second year linebacker. I think the flaw here is for the Skins is eating a pass rusher. Okay. Hey, it's great that you have a couple of these guys coming in. Okay. You don't see Von Miller. Fantastic. But look, it's year 2. The secondary looks a little bit better. The run game looks a little better, but again, it's against Cincinnati. Okay. So the secondary looks a little bit better, and we didn't see Famous Amos last night. So I'm high on him. Reeves looked good. There's a lot of guys that look pretty good. Special teams, I thought right off the bat when they, it was a kickoff and the guy almost broke it again. I was like, I'm going down to FedEx Field and I'm firing that guy myself. But, it was a nice tackle. And then they adjusted there here and there. I think he's on a tightrope, to be honest with you. Finally, I would say, again, the defense, I was hoping it would have gotten better. But I'll tell you what we needed work on the draft is defense. So, look, you got Payne. You got all these other guys. You got the guy that came from the Jets in the offseason, Kinshaw. Great. I don't see a dominant force. I want a pass rusher. And that's where I think what we're missing. What we're missing on the offensive side, I think the protection was a little bit better, but again, it was against the Bengals. And so they seem to have gotten a little bit better. But yeah, my focus would be, I know I'm thinking ahead, is to focus on the defense. I mean, load up big time.
Yeah, definitely need pass rush for sure. There was a couple of nice plays. I think Dorrance Armstrong had a nice sack. Dietrich Wise had a sack what they called a horse collar, which I didn't kind of really agree with that one. Like he had his hand in there, but he didn't pull him down. It was like more sideways.
Yeah, it's ticky-tack.
And it was on Burrow, so they're going to call the flag on that.
Sure.
It's a big name quarterback.
Sure.
If that was their third string quarterback, that probably wouldn't have been a flag. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I agree with you. They definitely pass rush. On offense, I think we need another playmaker. And one of the playmakers that should be there is Terry McLaurin, but it's not. I've been in that camp of saying like we need to pay him. Last night kind of like soured me on him a little bit. Terry McLaurin has been a great guy in this organization for so long. He has a lot of good deposits in the bank, right? He's always been a team first guy, always showing up, doing what he's supposed to do. But I think last night was a terrible look for him. He did not show up to the game at all. We're playing the Bengals, right? So the Bengals have Trey Henderson, who is on their defensive lineman, who led the league in sacks last year, and he's in a contract dispute with them. And he's been saying like they're looking to trade him right now. They said that, hey, give us your best offer. He's on the trading block, right? And this was an away game, and he was there, talking to his teammates on that and stuff like that on the sideline. Micah Parsons, he's in a contract dispute, and then he's sitting there and he's talking, and he's still showing up to games, and he's talking to his teammates. It's that brotherhood is so important. Building that bond is important in football. As much as the X's and O's mean, and the stats and all that stuff means, that brotherhood means a lot in football. And Terry McLaurin is like taking that away from this team a little bit.
I agree. I publicly stated, I said that while we were on vacation, and when this whole thing started, just honor the contract. They're probably going to franchise him next year. I don't know. I wouldn't. But again, we're looking at the business aspect of Washington. If you're going to pay him. Fantastic. But I said publicly that they weren't going to give him or offer the contract until after or between preseason 2 and 3. So now it's a time where we have seen reports he's talking to Peters. He has been at camp a few times. I think it's closed camp now to the public, so we're not even there, so we don't even know. We're going based on what we've seen on X and certain reports on our local news. I think he's going to sign. I think this is, look, I'm trying to squeeze as much out of this as I can in order to get X, Y, and Z, X amount of money. I don't think that he is Metcalf worthy money. He is fast, but again, he's part of this organization. Should he have been there? Sure. That I said this about a couple weeks ago. Hey, you can't say I want to be here and be part of this team and then not show up. So either you know what you got to do or get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? So make a decision here, Terry. We do want you. The fans love you. Okay. We support you, but I understand your point of view or your side of it. Hey, you need money, your family, yada, yada. I get all that, dude. I get that. Okay. But We're talking about, you mentioned the brotherhood. You know, you have your family outside with your lovely new wife, etc. Fantastic. I'm happy for you. I really am. But the family of the Washington Skins, as I call them, you're franchise. Now we have a good quarterback, a pretty good quarterback, right? I'm sorry that you had to go through a lot of that bad experience that you had before, because we had bad ownership. We had, it is what it is. But we went pretty far last year. I'm not saying that we will go far or not. We went pretty far. We can go farther, but he is a key piece of this puzzle.
Yeah, he's definitely a key piece. And without him, we're not going that far. Our receivers are terrible. We need him there. And then I'm not even saying, I get the contract dispute. I get that you're still fighting. At least be there, hang out with your teammates. It's like hanging out with your buds and watching a football game. That's what you're doing on the sidelines there. Von Miller, who's been here for what, 2 weeks? He was there. He was there, right, joking it up on the sideline with Bobby Wagner. He was like, congratulating the D-line when they're getting pressures. That stuff is so important to a game of football. So important to a game of football. Me and you know that as coaches, as former players, that stuff, that just little stuff that is not on the stat sheet. But it means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So again, I mean, Terry, you say you want to be here, then, anybody, it's actions speak louder than words, right? So do what you have to do. I get it. I respect that. Money wise, hey, that's between you, your family, your agent, whoever. Okay. But I think the fans love you coming out a few times where you're signing autographs. Maybe you're doing every single, again, I'm not there every single day. Okay. But listen, we love you here and you're part of this. But as you stated, Shano, he is part of this key piece. However, it's a team sport, right? So we're moving on, my guy. And just like I feel bad for Brian Robinson. He was shot a couple of years. I'm just being honest. It was really, I thought it was Sean Taylor situation again.
Yeah.
Young man out of Alabama. We don't want that to happen. He's a tough runner. He's a tough, I like him. I do like him. But, like you said, I don't think he's part of that in the plans of Kingsbury's offense. So he has to go. Maybe he will do great things wherever. Wish him the best. But again, business is business. We're here. You play to win the game, like Herm Edwards says.
Yeah. Brian Robinson, I think he'll catch on with another team and do pretty well with them. I just don't think he's a great fit for Cliff Kingsbury's offense, like we said. And I think that's the main reason why they're going to move on with him. Yeah. But Terry, I mean, come on. And then so Terry asked to not come to the game, but so apparently, and the team excused him. At some point, the team needs to stop excusing him and say, like, all right, hey, look, we need you to here. The season's starting. We need you here. This contract dispute, we'll work it out as we go or whatever. But we need you here. It's like nut up or shut up time. It's getting close to that time. I think it's like August 25th. If he doesn't sign by that date or something like that, then if he doesn't start practicing by that date, then he can't play for week 1 because you have to have X amount of practice time before you can play. So like he needs. I mean, it's time. Like Terry, let's go. Let's go. And the team's not helping it if they don't put the screws to him at some point. So at some point they need to be like, hey, you're under contract. You need to start showing up. Let's go.
Right. So the good news is they took him off the PUP list, right? So that's a positive thing. But I agree with you. Listen, you're under contract. Sorry that, you're going through this and you feel, your feelings are a little hurt. Okay. In the sense that, hey, I deserve to get X, Y, and Z. I need the extension, etc. That's why I stated earlier about a month, and when this first thing started, hey, honor the contract. I get it. You want more money. Everybody wants more money. But look, to me, you've had with a good quarterback, you had one great year. The other ones, sure, you were carrying the team because pretty much you were the only receiver on the team. So, yeah, I think they're due on the admin side, on the business side. I think Washington's doing a great job on that. But as I stated before, and I'm stealing something from Mad Dog. Listen, Us coming on here, I tell producer Mark in April, I signed a contract. But then, this blows up and now we're close to 550 subscribers on YouTube. Well, hey, I want a bigger contract. That's not how it works. Okay. So going to honor the contract. And then after that, we can talk. So again, I think they need to start finding them. I hate to say that. I don't want that because I don't want to take any money away from anybody. But we need to go to work. And the timing, as I stated, that takes time. It's not like you're going to, a local high school and throwing the pigskin around with Jaden Daniels. No, because they're doing stuff, at high schools. I'm just, or you're going to a local park. No, the timing is there. You have the trainers, you have the facilities, blah, blah, blah. You had your ankle situation. It is what it is. Now it's time, like you said, to put up or shut up.
Yeah, definitely. It's time. Like, let's get going. And that's coming from me, who I am almost always pro player in fighting for more money. But it's getting to the point. It's like, hey, Terry, it doesn't look like it's happening. It's time to move on, and it's time to go. And let's put up another season where they can't refuse you to give you more money next year. You put up a 1,300-yard season and 12 touchdowns. They're going to sign you like that for the following season with a lot of money. So it's time now. Like, I'm sorry, Terry, I love you, but it's when you don't show up to a game and you're not there for your brothers like that, it kind of like shows him it's against his character. I would think that from the character he's shown his whole career so far up to this point, I would say, like, it doesn't seem that right for me. But and I think it should be a kind of a bigger deal than I hear. Like, not a lot of people are talking about it, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, he should have been there. Like, that, it definitely should have been there. On another positive note, I want to talk about the game. Jalen Lane, I like him. The kid from Virginia Tech, the receiver. He looks good. He runs really crisp routes. I was watching his routes. Yeah. Really good route runner. Another thing I liked about him too is on the return game, he's not an east and west guy. He caught the ball and went straight upfield on a punt last night. Caught the ball, went straight upfield, got 10, 15 yards. And I was like, perfect. That's all I want. Get upfield and get what you can. Not dance around and lose 10 yards.
Sure. And I think one of those times he'll break one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure. But I think his mistake was he was the victim of running that corner route.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the one where he got jammed up or whatever. So maybe you need to start hitting the weight room, my guy. I'm just saying. So
yeah,
he's a rookie. I'm not picking on the guy.
He'll get better with that, I think, as time goes on.
Absolutely.
But like I saw him run like it was like a hitch he ran. He shook the dude out of his shoes on one of them. And then he did another one where he did like a dig route across the middle of the field and wide open and perfect footwork. I was like, good God, this kid's gonna be good. You get him another year or two under with some NFL coaches. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Where was Brown? I mean, again, we need you out there, but I mean, there's a lot of things that I think we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but he had a medical situation last year, during the playoffs, et cetera, as you know. But where's Brown? I mean, I don't understand.
I don't know if they're just trying to baby him a little bit because of his injury last year, because it was kind of a serious one that held him out for over half the season. So maybe they just don't want to risk it during the preseason. I know he didn't suit up, but I think it was like the team's call. So I think they're just kind of like wrapping him in bubble wrap for preseason. I don't think they want him to hurt anything because he's, especially if Terry doesn't play, we're gonna need him a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree with you. Well, that concludes our wrap up here in preseason game number 2 against the Skins taking on the Bengals. Tell us what you think. I know Chano is a little, and I as well, are concerned about the behavior of Terry McLaurin and the way that he's not showing up to games where others, for example, Trey Henderson, is showing up for the Bengals. Tell us what you think. We truly appreciate the support and subscriptions that you guys subscribe to us. Like I said, we're close to 550. We're past 300 on TikTok. Definitely need some help on Instagram, I'll be honest with you. But we're going to continue to bring out some more of our content. We have a lot of stuff that we have, It's in production, so please bear with us. And then we're going to be back here very soon to talk college football. We covered the ACC already, and now we're going to be covering the SEC, and we'll have that video out to you guys definitely this week. All right, so again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Keep continuing to follow us. We appreciate it, and we'll definitely catch you next time. See you later.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.